Brooklyn Independent Television.
When Cathie Black was tapped by Mayor Bloomberg to head the city's schools, the announcement was met by shock and some opposition. State Assemblymember Joan Millman was one of the first Brooklyn officials to voice concern over the mayor's choice. Jenny Pace Rodriguez sat down with her and got her views on why there's so much public outcry.
Thank you for joining us, Assemblywoman Millman.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here.
And so, as a member of the State Assembly's Education Committee, what role, if any, do you and your committee members play in selecting and confirming a school's chancellor?
Well, I think you said, if any. In fact, the role is none. We have no role whatsoever. The decision is made and left to the Board of Regents, of which we have 2 members from Brooklyn, and to the Commissioner of Education, Steiner. And he will be the one to eventually grant the waiver or not. And it was done before with the current chancellor, who's on his practically out the door as we speak, and because he also had no credentials in education.
Public advocate Bill de Blasio, he's calling for some sort of public forum where Cathie Black can sit in on a panel with a number of education stakeholders and talk about her position. And so why is public opinion so important?
Well, I mean, this is a position, look, let me make an analogy. We know that the current baseball teams in New York City, right? They were on a national search to find good managers. It was public. People knew about it. They knew to apply or not apply. Do we care more about the baseball players than the school children of the city of New York? This was not transparent at all. It was all done, I don't know how it was done. I don't think anybody really knows how it was done. There was a press conference, and the current chancellor was saying, I've been here, thank you so much, and then he stepped away from the mic, and the mayor came to the mic and said, here's the new person. So nobody knew about the process. It's really a slap in the face to not only all the school children that we have in the city of New York, but to the parent groups and to the educational professionals in this city. It seems to me you'd want the best and the brightest. I'm not saying Ms. Black is not capable and competent. I don't know her. Perhaps she will do a very good job, but to have a process which was not a process and just present us with this woman who has a media background, who ran magazines, to her credit, I don't know that she's ever stepped foot in a public school.
Sure, and so folks are coming out in droves saying that this shouldn't happen. You know, the the Education Commissioner, David Steiner, should not grant her a waiver. They're going online, they're signing this petition. Do you think that that will sway him to prevent this waiver from happening?
I can't say what's going to sway him. I know yesterday I put in a call to one of the Brooklyn regents from, in fact, just not far from where we are now. It was Karen Brooks Hopkins from BAM. She's a member of the Regents, and she's one of the Brooklyn members. And I told her how disappointed I was with the lack of a public process, and I felt that we deserved a great deal more. Whoever takes over as chancellor is facing enormous issues. We have failing test scores. We have schools that fail. We have demoralized teaching staff. We have teachers who haven't had a contract in, I think, close to a year now. So these are real pressing issues. Sure. Plus, we were very successful in Albany in putting forth a grant. We're getting all this money from the feds, race to the top money. So the person who's going to help the city spend that money wisely has to really know what's going on in the school system. So these are really pressing issues, and I think that Steiner may look at some of these things, but ultimately the decision is going to be his. And I have to say, ultimately, I'm not taking away the decision from the mayor either, but I think it could have been more open process, and it could have engaged the stakeholders in the city of New York.
What are some of those things she should be doing in order to get herself ready? Should she be confirmed? And you're here primarily as a former school teacher.
Yes.
What do you think she should start doing?
Well, I mean, we have, as a matter of fact, I have to say, she called me today, said she was reaching out to people and she wanted to have a conversation. And I told her my opposition was not to her personally, because she may end up being, if confirmed, an excellent choice. My problem with it is the whole lack of transparency. That bothers me a great deal. But I think that we have we have community educational councils in every district that she could start certainly there by sitting and meeting the superintendents that are there in each one of the districts in the entire city, and learning, because all the districts are different.
Absolutely.
And they all have different problems.
Absolutely.
They have different populations. They have successful schools in each district, and they have schools that are not successful. And I think that that's a lot of work in a very short period of time. As people have said, and I've read, she's very smart, competent, capable woman. And in fact, as a female myself, I'm very pleased to see that it's a woman. But as I said, it's not her personally, it's the process.
Sure. Thank you so much for joining us, Assemblymember
You're welcome.
Millman.
Thank you.
Sure.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.